Okay, so this is take 2 because I was rambling way too much in the first one. And I was getting text messages like from the grocery store. So I wanted to make a video about opening or starting spirit sessions, EVP sessions, when you're out and about and you're at haunted locations or potentially locations that could be haunted. Any place like that, and you're going to do an EVP session, whatever, or even if you have an item at your house that's like the Dow Dory that I have here that came in a dark web box. And I'm also always in cemeteries and things like that. I also carry with me a bottle of cleansing spray that, you can go buy the spray at Walmart that's full of all kinds of junk. Mine is all natural. I do have a recipe on my channel that you can make your own, and then it's made with natural ingredients, not a lot of junk. But anyways, the thing is when you're there and you walk away, you could be taking anything home with you. You don't want to let the spirits get attached to you, to anything you have, to anything you take there. And, when you're picking up, you never know what you're going to pick up with your equipment. I've come home and I'd be going through stuff and there'd be like a leaf, a flower, anything like that. They could be attached to that and you wouldn't know. So I know a lot of people are going to disagree with maybe how I do it, but this is how I do it and it works for me. And I don't bring things home with me. I don't, and I've been to Ritual Rock. And it's definitely got a lot of activity. I haven't been back out there because of some things that I found that were potentially attached to a missing person case, and I just have not felt comfortable going back out there. They're still searching for this person, and I had to give them one of my videos I did of where I found the items I found. So that's why I have not been back out to Ritual Rock. It has nothing to do with somebody claiming that I was faking my video, because I wasn't. I just have not been back out there because of what I found, and I'm not allowed to release that video until they tell me I can't. So this is what I do. I'm going to go through this. I don't show this on my videos because I have to keep everything within a 21 minutes or less span. Anything above 21 minutes, my phone won't let me download because my phone does not have enough space for it to go back on my phone where I can put it on YouTube. It's a memory space with my phone, nothing to do with YouTube or anything else. It's just my phone. So this is just about opening and starting spirit sessions and a way to protect yourself, and it's a good way to do it to keep yourself from bringing home something or getting hurt while you're out there. And just remember, you're in their space when you're there. You're in their space, not the other way around. Now, like with this doll that I have here, and I have other dolls here that people said they've seen them move, they've seen them eyes move. Somebody's on my front porch. I hate that. People here do not respect other people's little area. Just remember that you're in their space. So you need to be respectful of that. You need to be respectful of them, even if they are evil. You still need to respect that because they could come back and bite you in the butt. Okay? So be respectful and ask permission. Ask permission to speak with them. Ask permission. Let them know why you're there. And that you don't wish to cause them any harm, and that you don't want them to harm you. Make sure they know that they cannot hurt you. Make sure they know your intent. I have notes. That's what I'm doing. There's my handwriting. Isn't that really sloppy? I can't write very good. Make sure they know your intent. It doesn't matter if you're using a spirit box, a voice recorder, EMF detector, whatever. Make sure they know your equipment and your intent and what you plan on doing. And I don't agree with the Ouija boards. If you're using a Ouija board, make sure you know how to properly use it, open the session with one, and closing it. Because if you don't close those portals you open with an Ouija board, they're not good. I've seen firsthand what happens with an Ouija board, what can come through those things, and they're not a toy. Even though places sell them as toys, they are not a toy. I do not agree with them, so please, if you do use one, know how to properly use one and close your sessions with them. If you're using objects for them to interact with, such as this doll that I have here that's supposedly haunted by the little girl that owns it, introduce yourself, introduce the items that you're using, or if the item isn't from where you're at, make sure they know what it is and tell them why you've brought it with you. Well, what it's used for. Like a toy, like if you're going to be interacting with a child and you're taking a ball, let the child know that that ball is there for them to move or to play with or something like that. Make sure you tell them that they cannot harm you in any way. You don't want them to hurt you. They cannot touch you. I have a couple times told them that they could maybe pull on my coat. Because I was at a massacre place where they were laying on the ground. So in that instance, I was, thinking they're laying on the ground. Some of them were pretending to be dead. But maybe they want to pull on my coat, the corner of my coat to let me know that they were there. That was probably about the only time I've ever told them that they could pull on my clothing. And that was because of the type of instance I was in. So you do not want them to harm you. Make sure you tell them that they cannot attach to you, your equipment, anything you've brought with you, anything you're going to take with you, your vehicle, anything that you leave with. Like, I come home one day and I had a leaf with me. They could have been attached to that leaf. They could attach themselves to that leaf. You brought it home. They're with you. That sounds silly, but it's the truth. Make sure they know that they are not welcome to go home with you. Not just attached, but they're not welcome. That's where they need to be, and that's where they need to stay. Let's see. And that includes your clothes. Like if you have a jacket that's not on you, make sure that they know they cannot attach to your clothes or anything in your car, anything with you. It sounds silly to do that, but that's how it needs to be. I often will light candles depending on where I'm at. Like if I'm at home and I'm just doing a spirit session, because I do have spirits in my house and I do have orbs that come around. I'll often light a candles or something to kind of set an ambiance, to kind of see if I can catch anything. But that's just something for my own use, and that's something you may want to try sometime. I often pray. You don't see it on the camera, but I do pray. Ask for higher guidance, your higher power, God, goddesses, whatever you need for protection and for guidance while you're doing this. Make sure you state who you are, so they know who's talking to them, and make sure you state who you're addressing. The spirits, like I do have like a ghost kitty and stuff like that in my house. Like when I'm dealing with Dory, I want to speak with whoever's attached to that doll or any of my other dolls. Don't provoke. Oh my gosh, people, don't provoke anything. Don't get rude or nasty, because it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. Closing. When you close your session, let it know you are ending the session. Period. You're done. You're over. Thank them. Thank them for their time. Thank them for allowing you to be there. And remind them that they cannot go with you, that they are not wanted. That is where they belong. And pack up while you're saying that and pray again if you feel the need to, which usually I do. That they cannot attach themselves to anything you taking with you. They cannot attach themselves to you, yourself, your belongings, your vehicle, etc. So make sure that is really important to close that, and thank them for letting you be there in their space. Also, not all spirits, gotta check my time, not all spirits are, or entities, want to, need to, or can cross over. A lot of people could argue on me in this one. Listen, not all spirits are, okay, let me kind of put it this way. Some activity that you see going on is activity that is going over and over and over and over. For instance, places that have had terrible things happen, and the same thing's playing over and over and over and over. It is energy that is playing. May not be actual spirit there doing it. That is an evil entity, energies that's there, and not everything, you cannot help everything cross over. And it's kind of a hard thing to know, kind of a hard thing to understand, kind of a hard thing to do. I don't even try to help spirits cross over. It just is what it is. I just don't even mess with it. Some spirits have crossed over and come back and visit us. Okay, that's a whole different thing. And I believe a lot of it, that when we talk to spirits and we get activity and we get voices and things on our EMFs and things like that on our voice recorders, I believe it is spirits that are coming back. They've crossed over, but they come back and they speak to us and they talk to us and things like that. And then we have the entities that are here, that do the poltergeist activity and things like that. It's, to me, I believe that they're different types of things, but not everything can cross over, if that makes sense. So I hope everyone finds what I'm trying to get through to everybody kind of makes a little bit of a sense. So I want to kind of tell you what I say when I'm like for instance, this is what I say when I'm like at Ritual Rock. I kind of wrote down kind of what I say when I go to Ritual Rock. If you've seen those videos, there's several of them. It's at the Maris the Sing massacre site, and somebody did a satanic ritual there. And I get a lot of EVPs, a lot of EMF hits there. Okay, this is kind of, I wrote down kind of like what I say when I'm there, when I open and when I close, and this is what it is. I say, hello, I'm Laura. I'm here to communicate with any spirits that may be here. I ask that anyone, whoever would like to come through to speak to us, to do so. I mean no disrespect. I'm here to talk to you using these cameras and recorders. I will tell you that you cannot attach yourself to me or my equipment or my car or anything I brought with me and that I take with me. You are not to harm me in any way or damage any of my equipment or my car. I respect you, so respect me, please. At this point, I usually say a short prayer for protection, and then I proceed with what I'm doing, and that's usually the recording that you see. When I'm finished and I'm done with my recording, I usually say that I want to thank all of the spirits that are present for being here and for allowing me to be in your space, because I am in their space. Remember that you cannot follow me home. You cannot attach yourself to me or any of my equipment or my car, or anything that I take from here. This is where you belong, and you must stay here unless you cross over. And they cross over on their own. Sometimes you just being there helps them to be able to cross over if there's something there that can cross over. This is usually where I pray and I thank them for their time, and I ask for a safe journey home, and I tell the spirits goodbye and thank you again. And that's how I close it, and how I start and close a session when I'm out, and how I kind of start. And each session will be different depending on where you're at, if you're outside, inside, what you're dealing with, and that kind of will give you an idea of how to do it, to keep spirits from coming. And I do take my cleansing spray with me, and I will spray myself. Sometimes I sage myself, depending, especially spirit rock, or ritual rock. I do spray myself down. I give the inside of my car a quick spray, and I do sage my my equipment when I'm home. So anyways, everybody, I hope you find this kind of helpful. Let everybody know kind of what I do, and help other people that go out to do this, and especially if you're just starting, kind of help you to give you a little bit of a guideline on keeping yourself safe when you're out doing this kind of investigating, so that you don't take something home, especially if you go home and you feel tired, drained, worn out. You could have something that have attached to you, whether you brought it home or not. It could have attached to you while you were there, even if you didn't bring it home with you. So everybody, have a wonderful day, safe week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.